Hello everyone, my name is Dorian and welcome to another LMP2 track guide. This time we are at Le Mans at night. Let me tell you, this has been the hardest track guide I've ever had to do. So if you enjoy it, please leave a like, subscribe, let me know in the comments or on Discord what you think I can do better. My best lap time is a 329.651. I've done that with the Apex setup. And the track conditions are 70% on the track and 22C. I'm just gonna show you guys the lap real quick and then we're gonna analyze it corner by corner. That's it. Let's get on the track.
You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
Okay, so the first segment here is quite tricky because you're taking a very high speed corner into a very hard braking point. Now, what you want to do is you want to set the car up to the braking point before you even touch this apex. So you're always thinking about when you need to start braking and where the car is going to be. Now notice I'm going to stick it to the inside and I'm going to try and do my best to stay there, leaving around, I don't know, 30% of the car on the curb on the inside here, and I'm already braking quite hard. You can also see from my inputs that as I approach the apex here, I'm already going to start braking, I'm already going to lift off, and I'm going to do my best to keep the car stable. The reason for that is because you don't have a huge braking distance here. And you really want to be able to have a straight car for the brakes, because it's very easy to lock up here, both the rears and the fronts. So I'm gonna brake very hard from 6th into 2nd gear. I might actually put it in first sometimes, and just to put this on the car on the curb. It's very crucial to try to be as close to this curb as possible on the entry without losing all your speed, of course. Try to clip this apex and be as left as possible, and you can't go all the way to the left here. You have to carry the speed. You're going to be in the middle of the track, but as left as possible before clipping the next curb. Now, if you clip it too much, it's going to upset the car. It's going to make it bounce throughout the exit, and that's going to cost you 2-3 tenths easy. So try not to clip it too much. I know it's tempting. The 1x is actually quite far from the apex, so you can abuse it, but try not to do it too much unless you have an extra soft setup. But with this setup, absolutely impossible. Using all the curb on the exit, 2nd gear into 3rd, and I'm just gonna take the shortest route possible throughout these couple corners. Stay in 4th throughout, and right after I finish this corner, the right-hander, I'm gonna start braking. So as I straighten the car out, I'm already gonna lift and start braking very hard on the brakes from 4th into 3rd, and I'm trying to stay on the inside the whole way through. You don't want to enter too early because kind of apex is late, like right around here, but there's definitely a curb camber on the road here that you want to take advantage of. That means all the rubber is on the inside, and I'm gonna be as smooth as I can on the throttle on the exit, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to carry the speed the whole way through, staying on the inside. Now on your first lap here, big tip, short shift from 3rd to 4th. It's going to prevent oversteer, as the car can get a lot of snap oversteer on the exit here on cold tires. Keep that in mind. We're going to take it all the way to the outside and start preparing ourselves for what is probably one of the hardest corners of this track, at least for me, because nailing it means a lot of time gained, and not doing it well is basically gonna mean you're gonna have an off track and a huge time penalty, and it's gonna ruin your lap and potentially your race. So you want to brake early, set the car up nicely into 4th gear, and you want to clip this curb as much as you dare, but you also want to do it quite late so you won't clip it too much and get the penalty. Be careful on the exit here. As long as you keep your right wheel on this curb, you can actually abuse this curb quite a lot more. So you can put your right wheel on the curb here, and you still won't get the off track or the penalty. Take a look at it. I wasn't using all of it, means there's more speed to it. Simple as that. You can use more. You can put your right wheel right around here and won't be a problem. Now coming up to the Mulsanne straight. Simple stuff. Stay on the left when you need to turn left. Obviously here I'm taking the shortest route, then sticking to the left the whole way through. Go back to the inside here, look for the braking point. It's gonna be right around here when the barriers kind of change, where there's like an emergency exit. This little guy is your friend. He's gonna tell you, look, you gotta start braking now, and that's what I'm gonna do. Very hard on the brakes from 6th, 330 kilometers an hour into 2nd gear. You want to keep the car straight the whole way through and only start turning in quite late. So as you can see, you got this cone, this kind of your indication on when you might want to start turning in. And after that cone, even quite a bit after that, so between the cone and the white line here is when I'm going to start turning in. I want to clip this curb on the inside. I don't want to clip it that much because it could upset the car, but I do want to clip it so I can have a wide exit, a wide approach for this next corner, which is going to affect my exit speed a lot. I'm still trail braking. I'm still keeping the weight in the front, and I'm looking for the best way out of it without losing the backhand. As you can see, I lost it a little bit, and I was still very, very linear with the throttle and still lost the backhand. So vital area where you want to implement throttle control. You want to be as smooth as you can, and it's going to give you so much time on the exit. All right, let's continue. And we're approaching the next braking point, the next chicane. So you have the 100 and you have the 200, and between those, there's something here on the right. There's this light reflector right around here. Let this be your breaking point. It's a very easy breaking point to remember. So right after it is when I'm going to start braking, but definitely way before the 100. Let's say 140 or 145 is your breaking point here. Again, breaking a straight line, we're going to start turning in a little bit earlier this time. The entry is fast, but the exit is quite slow. It's a very different chicane from the one we just did, even though they look like they mirror each other, but they don't, actually. The approach is very fast here, and you're still braking hard. Now I got the car in being neutral, and I'm braking again once I straighten it out. So I'm braking hard, reaching the apex. I'm gonna keep the car neutral in second gear so I can straighten it out for another braking point. And I'm gonna try to have a very tight line here because it's very easy to just understeer out. And it's, as you can see, I am understeering right now. I'm trying to maintain the speed and get a smooth exit. Very tricky thing to do. I'm already on the throttle. Maybe I've just been on the throttle a little too early because I want to stay to the right, or as right as possible. And again, I'm being very linear. I'm waiting. I'm being patient with the throttle. Don't abuse the outside too much here. There's a very nasty bump that's going to cause a lot of floor damage. Try not to abuse it too much. I was plenty of track usage. I was smooth enough on the exit. Now we're going to go into Mulsanne corner. Now, very important to try to straighten the car out. Find a line that is the most straight line you can find. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to turn while braking here. There's almost no choice. But try to find the line that will allow you to be as straight as possible. So after the cone here, I'm going to start turning in the car. Try to hug this curb on the inside. My braking point is this little guy right here, this net or whatever it is. So as soon as I approach it, quite a bit before it though, that's a good 15 meters or so, I'm going to start braking again very hard. As you can see, my wheel is almost straight. That was about as straight as I can get it to be here. And I'm braking into the outside diagonally so I can keep the car straight again as possible. Now your turning point is right around this cone into first gear. And you're looking for the apex. Do not miss this apex. All the grip is on the inside. You have to carry a little bit less speed through this corner. I'm not carrying a lot of speed at all through this corner. I'm actually taking quite slow. You can carry way more speed, but it's very hard to calculate. And the exit is so important here that I'm actually taking it very slowly. I'm clipping this curb on the inside just so I can have a straight line in the exit. As you can see, after I reach the apex, I'm already on the throttle very slowly, trying to maximize my grip, keep the pressure on the rear wheels, straighten the car out, and I'm flooring it. Using all the curb on the exit, there's no problem with that. I mean, if you use a little bit too much of this curb, it can make the car bounce, but this amount is quite okay. Actually, as far as I know, that's the fastest line through here. Again, taking the shortest route possible, so I'm slowly gonna veer into the right here, taking a short route, and again, I'm gonna do it again. And now I'm approaching what is either a double braking point. I like trying to have it as a double braking point. That means I'm braking very hard here. As you can see, braking very late. Let's look at my braking point. I'll try to go corner by corner here, apex by apex. So as soon as this green stuff here kind of ends, or as I'm approaching the end of it, that's where I'm going to start braking. And I'm going to brake around 50-60% just for a very short period of time. Then I'm going to move into sort of a slowdown / trail braking kind of mode where I'm hovering around 30-40%. I'm keeping the weight in the front. I'm still slowing the car down, and I'm going to leave the brakes. If you're very brave, instead of just leaving the brakes, you can actually hit the throttle here. It won't cause the car to go unstable and might give you a little bit more time, but it could compromise your braking for the next one. So try to keep that in mind. And I'm braking hard again as I straighten the car out. I'm trying to use as much of the track as possible. As you can see, I'm practically putting my right wheel on the curb here on the outside, or almost. You can actually utilize more of the track here even, and that's going to give you a lot of speed on the entry and subsequently on the exit. Let's take a look at it from the inside though. Nice and easy into second gear. I'm trail braking. I'm making sure I got the grip on the inside. Still trail braking. Very late on the throttle, but quite aggressive on the exit, because I was already I diminished all my speed down. I have no speed right now, so I can be very aggressive in second gear, and I'm letting it go wide on the exit using the curb, trying to maximize the track. Now, the braking point here is actually quite tricky. As you can see, you have a white line here, and you've got the 50. Anywhere between those is sort of where you want to be. And I keep doing it a little bit different. I keep either gaining or losing a little bit of time under braking here because I can't find that sweet spot. Experiment, try to find your line. As you can see, I'm braking pretty much between them right now. I'm positive you can brake later than that. But again, setting yourself up for the exit here is vital. Braking all the way into first gear. I'm actually maximizing my approach by using this curb on the outside. And I'm not going to turn in too late because I want to clip this apex. I want to be as close to it as possible. Not going to upset the car at all. And I'm going to have a nice straight line for the exit here. I can use all of the road on the outside, correcting the almost inevitable oversteer that you're going to have. You can see it may be a little too aggressive, but as you can see, I was quite linear with the throttle and still the back end stepped out. This setup is very loose because it's Le Mans. It has to be loose. So you're going to have to be very careful with the throttle input. And again, taking the shortest route, coming up to the Porsche curves. All right, so I'm on the left here, already setting the car up for what is a very quick braking point. So I'm braking from 6th into 4th. I'm gonna try not to stay on the brakes for too long, and I'm gonna move it into trail braking as soon as I can, trying to keep the car on the inside as much as possible to set myself up to the next corner. So I'm trying not to be greedy here. You can definitely carry more speed or turn in a little bit earlier here. I'm trying not to be greedy. I'm trying to set myself up for the next corner. As you can see, I'm not giving the full beans until the car is in the middle of the track. And now, again, I'm playing around with the throttle. There's very little difference between going flat out here and, you know, being at 60, 80, 70%. The main thing you want to do is obviously for the race, preserve your tires here. So if you're just going to lean on it hard, flat out, you're not going to have tires very quickly. And also, there's a very big chance of you kind of understeering into this wall right here, and you can clip it. You can touch this wall, but if you overdo it a little too much, it's gonna cause some damage. Again, I'm lifting here. I'm trying not to be greedy. A little bit on the brakes, still in 4th gear. As I hit the apex, I full throttle, and then I'm gonna brake and put a lot of weight on the front wheels, and then I'm gonna shift down into 3rd, and I'm gonna hug this corner. I'm not trying to go wide here at any point. I want to stay on the inside. That's where all the rubber and that's where all the camber is. And I'm gonna set the car up very early for the exit here, because the closer you are to this apex, the sooner you can be on the throttle. As you can see, I'm already on throttle when I can see the car is lining itself up correctly. I'm not going to understeer. There's reverse camber here, so the corner kind of wants to chuck you out. And to prevent that, you just have to brake extra early, stay in 3rd gear, and be very linear on the throttle when you're approaching the exit. Because what it's going to do, it's going to let the backhand step out. So very slowly, from 50 to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. You can use the curb on the exit, no problem, no 1x at all. From this point, I'm just gonna take the shortest route possible, clipping this apex right here, and we approach the make or break of most people's laps. Yeah, let's take a look at it extra slowly. So I'm braking very hard. Look for a braking point, actually. I'm not sure where it is. You can look at this guy, and you can look at this thing, these lights here, and that might help you. There's these lights here. All these things can be your indications. I actually look at the curb here, and that's sort of my indication. Everybody might have a different approach for this corner. I'm trying to take a diagonal line, meaning I'm stealing as much as I can from the right here before I start braking, because I want to brake in a straight line diagonally into the curb, and I'm only going to correct the car once I've got it to slow down. Third gear into second, and I'm trying to carry the speed here. Trying to maximize the amount of speed I'm carrying through these curbs. It's amazing how much speed you can actually carry here. You don't have to slow down that much. In fact, I don't think I've maximized my approach here at all. Now, if you're carrying a lot of speed, you're gonna have to brake early here. I'm giving a little bit of throttle just to A, stabilize the car, B, steal a little bit of time on this little straight here. But I'm already gonna correct the car to the right, downshift into first. And I'm gonna flip the apex here quite a lot and have a nice early entry here. This curb is a menace. You don't want to clip this curb too much. It really upset this car. But the other one is actually quite soft, so you can be a little more liberal with it. Try not to use not to touch the bump stop. And as you can see, the wheel is actually pretty straight now. So I can have a very aggressive exit here and try to utilize as much of the curb as I can, and that's gonna give us a 329.651. I'm a little tired, guys, so sorry if my English today is not at its best. If you enjoyed it at all, please leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, do the social media things and jump on my Discord, say hello. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day. Bye bye.